What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on my 2024 GR Corolla, and also I want to talk to you a little bit about the break-in. Some people say 1,000 miles. Well, if you look in the Toyota handbook, which I'm going to pull up here, it actually recommends 621 miles. Toyota actually doesn't even recommend a change of oil after that, but it's always good practice. And just a bonus for you, they also say for the first 186 miles just to avoid sudden stops on your brakes. After that, they pretty much say that your brake pads are bedded in properly and you're ready to hit the track and have a good time. Me personally, I didn't really notice amazing braking power and stopping power until I hit about 900 miles. So first thing we're gonna do is grab our oil. I'm using a Mobil 1 full synthetic 020 SAE, and this is actually what Toyota recommends. It's a GF6A, and it also says it on the oil cap, which I'll show you later. I'm also using the Toyota filter. This is the N1, and I got new crush washers and a drain bolt just in case. I also picked up this oil filter wrench, which I'm going to link in the description. This is specifically for Toyotas and it fits perfectly on this oil filter. This was also a second option that you can use to take off the oil filter. This is just a standard wrench that's going to fit mainly every filter. So you also want to make sure that you have a jack. This is just a Harbor Freight, nothing crazy. I also have jack stands, foam knee pad, and rubber gloves. You're going to want to make sure that you have a drain pan and some rags that you don't mind getting all covered in oil. So first thing I'm going to do is pop the hood, and then I'm going to remove the oil cap. This is where it says all the specifications about the oil you need to know. I usually just set it right here on the hood just so I don't forget it. I'm going to start off by checking the oil level from the factory just to see where they had it. It's kind of a fine line, but you can see it's a little bit above the halfway mark. This is the jack point. I have this pulled right out of the owner's manual just so you know a quick reference, because I'm going to be shining a light under there and it's kind of hard to see exactly where it is. But this bolt is going to be located in the center of the front, right behind the oil pan. This is going to be part of the subframe. I'm going to be having this jack go through the rocker panel, like in the fender in between the wheel. I don't know if I recommend this. My jack isn't long enough to go in properly, so I'm going to use this little slot just to jack it up. This is the pinch weld that's located on the passenger side where you're going to put your jack stand. So I'm going to throw both of these in, and I'm going to release the jack so that it's sitting on the jack stands. So here is the cover to the oil pan, and there's going to be 4 screws, and you can actually use a screwdriver or you can use a 10mm socket. The screwdriver is going to be a P3. So I'm going to start by removing these screws. After you remove the 4 screws, this little cover is going to fall down. Next, we're going to take our 14mm socket. This is going to be for the drain bolt. Now would be a good time to put your oil pan underneath the car just to make sure you don't make a mess. I'm going to go ahead and take my 14mm socket and crack this loose. Once I cracked it loose, I just take the rest off with my fingers. The oil looks pretty clear. Next, I'm going to take my drain plug gasket and I'm going to put it onto my drain bolt. The torque spec for this is going to be 30 foot-pounds, and I'm going to have a reference guide pulled up for you. My drain plug gasket was still on there, so I had to just take a hammer and whack this thing off. Clean the surface off before you put the bolt back on. I'm going to tighten this down by hand, snug it up with a ratchet, and then I'm going to take my Torx wrench and finish it off at 30 foot-pounds. Next, we're going to take our oil filter wrench, hook up the oil filter wrench. We're going to crack it loose just so the oil starts to drain out before we take it all the way off. This definitely helps eliminate making a mess. The goal is just to release the pressure. Once the pressure is all released, then you can take it out, let it drain all the way out, and then we're going to clean the surface to put the new one back in. We're going to take our N1 oil filter. This comes pre-lubed from the factory, so you don't need to put oil on it. We're going to put this on by hand, and then we're going to take our torque wrench and we're going to tighten this up with our oil filter wrench to 14 foot-pounds, and here's the reference guide for that. After we tighten that up, we're going to take this side with the notches and line it up, and we're going to put our 4 screws back in. It's easier just to put these in by hand first, and then just tighten them up with the ratchet. Next, we're going to drop our jack stands. And I know this is the point you all been waiting for. You think that I'm going to drop this and it's going to smack my side skirts and dent it. Guess what? It actually went down perfectly. Gapped it, nothing got damaged. But I was able to get it through this nice gap. Now, if you lower it, not going to be able to do that. Next, we're going to take our 020 oil, and I'm going to show you the specifications that Toyota recommends. They call for a SAE 020, and we're going to fill this up to 4.5 quarts because we did do the oil filter. I'm going to use a funnel, and I'm going to put this in nice and easy, but guess what? I couldn't do it. I did end up spilling it, and I'm gonna have to just chill out for a second because that is about to drip on my engine and I'm gonna have OCD in a minute, so I definitely gotta put this down. Let's clean that up real quick and then get back to pouring. Next, we're just gonna take the cap, throw it back on, tighten that sucker up, and we're gonna head into the car. We're gonna start the car here. I'm gonna show you the mileage. I'm at 1,033. That's what I decided to do for the break-in period. Just take extra precautions, but I'm gonna let the car run for a few minutes to cycle through the oil filter. Then we're gonna shut it off, and I'm gonna check the oil level to see where we're at. And as you can see, it's right around the halfway mark, and we are all good to go. This is just a little bonus footage for anybody who's stuck with me this far. I wanted to take a look at the oil that I drained out just to see what it would look like. It did look a little bit dark, but nothing too concerning. As I put my hand through here, you can see when I'm like swiping it that there are a bunch of metal shavings in here. And this is normal. It's a normal process of breaking in a motor. You want to get all that out. And that is the point and why we're doing this, so that the engine runs well and we can rip on it. I did notice a little bit of a metal chunk from what other people have seen and posted. That doesn't look anything too crazy. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if this helped you out, and we'll see you in the next video.